We'd like to welcome everyone out this evening to our board meeting. The agendas are posted on each side of the room and in front of us here for your reference. We'd like to start out this evening by a musical presentation by the Weaver High Production Company, who is directed by Mark Daniels, and we will turn the time over to you, Mark. I believe our Pledge of Allegiance will be given by Caden Thomas this evening, so please proceed. Let's give him another round of applause. Board, the consent calendar is listed on your agendas, and it's time to vote on that. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as entered in the agenda? Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Recognitions. I'd like to turn the time over to Carla Porter.
Superintendent Stevens, board, it is an absolute honor for me to have the opportunity tonight to recognize the Majestic Elementary office staff for the E+ Team Award. Lori's acting as my clicker. We have Chris Hansen, Sandy Brown, Danielle Short, and Irene Weidman. Now, Danielle and Irene have other obligations at the school besides working in the office, but Mr. Wallace said that the four of them together have made the most incredible team. So, can I have these four wonderful women come up? Yes, you get to stand right up here in front of everybody. This is the part you love. Come, just stand here. We don't want to hurt anything here, so they can look at your pretty faces. So I first wanted to start out by reading some of the things that Mr. Wallace said about this group of women. He said, "They are the face of our school. They set a tone of positivity, energy, and can-do attitude that permeates throughout the school. The most important attribute is their positive professionalism. They greet every student and adult with a smile, helpful attitude, and infectious energy." I don't know that I've ever heard the word energy used so many times by so many people when I talk to them at your school. They handle difficult situations with impressive grace. Wow. They are quick to help lighten the load of one another, and they serve others selflessly. Every student, patron, and staff member is positively influenced by this group. They don't have bad days. The Majestic Elementary office staff is an E+ team, a team of wonderful people who make the world around them an A+ place to be. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, I went around and visited with some teachers, and this was fun because the expressions when I asked them, tell me about this office staff, was amazing. Okay, Lori. I visited with Nicole Palmer, first grade teacher, and she said they are heaven on earth. They're our dream team. Supportive, helpful, positive, and upbeat. They make coming to work fun. Linda Baxter, who's the media specialist, said they are amazing. They deserve this. They help me out so much. They follow through with everything. She said, even if we have a student who moves, they will be the ones who jump right in and take care of finding that book for me. I cannot give them enough praise. And then Shauna Cooney, a second grade teacher, said they are the first people you see when you enter our school, and they set the tone, which is so positive and so happy. They make everyone feel comfortable. The way they reach out to students is incredible. And I love this one. You don't forget how they make you feel. There couldn't be a better group anywhere. Awesome things. And everybody just wanted to go on and on and on. So I decided to visit a class. So I visited Mrs. Strebel's fourth grade class, and she said, well, I want to say some things about them. She said they go above and beyond every single day. They are incredible. They are so friendly to everyone, and it's sincere. And they know every student by name. And then the students, of course, had to tell us a few things. And they said they're enthusiastic, awesome, happy, kind, really nice, cool, super duper nice, helpful. And we look up to them. I loved that one. We look up to them. So then I visited another class, Mrs. Chatfield's class. And Mrs. Chatfield's expression was so cute when I walked in. I said, what can you tell me? She says, oh my goodness. Everything they do is incredible. Their kindness is amazing. They are so positive. They reach out to anyone and everyone who enters the office. And she said, I've been in lots of schools, in lots of districts, and she said, I have to read exactly the way she put it, they are hands down the best group I have ever had the privilege of working with. I think it's obvious by hearing all of these comments that these ladies certainly are deserving of the E+ Team Award. Thank you for what you do for staff, but especially for kids. And let's give them a round of applause. Look at Mr. Wallace, he's like the proud papa. And you should be, Mr. Wallace. Superintendent Stevens, board, just so happy to present them to you. And I'm going to hand each of you the microphone if you'll introduce those individuals. Oh, we do need to give you the award. Will you Thank you, Lori. Thank heaven she was there to help. Isn't that beautiful? So I'll hand you the mic and you introduce those individuals who are with you. Okay?
My husband made it. He was at a baseball game. My husband, Harry, is here, and my mom and my dad, Kathy and Mark Powell. My middle daughter, Gracie, is here, and my father-in-law. My oldest and my youngest are out in the car. My son just got sick on the way here, so she's taking care of him in the car, so they're here in spirit.
And I have my husband and my youngest daughter and my son here. And we'd also really like to thank Mr. Wallace and Mrs. Davis and Mr. Fazio for coming and supporting us tonight. We love you guys. Thank you.
And I have my husband, Sam, and my son, Zach, and my daughter is at a soccer game. And I have a whole row. I have my husband, and yes. My husband, my daughter, my son-in-law, brand new, my in-laws, and son, daughter, and parents. Thanks for your support. And thank you, Mr. Wallace, Mrs. Davis, and Mr. Fazio.
Thank you, Carla. We'll now turn the time over to Bill Grills for the Extra Mile Award. Bill?
Thanks, Brent. Superintendent Board. It's an honor for me to present this award tonight to Sharon McKinnis. Sharon, would you come up? Sharon is currently a student advocate at Rocky Mountain Junior High. She started her career in the Ogden City School District. She was there 6 years and saw the light. And she is now in the best school district in the state, right? She's been at Rocky the past 3 years. And tonight, prior to dinner, I was talking to Mr. Zelmer, and he asked who we were awarding this to. I told him, he goes, "You've got to be kidding me. She used to show up at Canesville and help kids just randomly all the time." So you didn't share that with me.
Oh, you didn't ask.
Okay, thanks. When I got to visit Sharon, I went out to the school. She was in Miss Jackson's class. They opened the door, and there was a lady kneeling just 2 feet from the door, and she was engaged with 2 students, and I kind of stepped over, but it didn't matter who walked in the door. She was engaged with what she was doing, and she was helping one kid. She answered a question. She turned and answered a question here, and it was pretty amazing. I asked her what she liked about her job. She said, "This job allows me to help kids. I love when kids finally understand math." She said, "Our goal at Rocky is to get all kids on track when they head out to Fremont High School." She loves the staff, and she said she's thankful, Stacy, that you guys put up with her. So, Ms. Mybus, the principal, says Sharon is always positive and sets a good example for students. You often hear comments such as, "I know you can do this." Students like to get help from her because they don't understand it and know they'll be loved. Sharon creates such a positive experience for students while helping them fill in the gaps where they don't understand. Students are getting more than just math help from Sharon. The students who work with her know that they are cared about as people, not just someone to get their math help from. Sharon always has an underlying message that a student's value and worth is more important than the math they are trying to learn. So, pretty special. And this is echoed by everybody. Mr. Rippon says, in addition to being a great tutor, Sharon works with students in such a way that they really know that you care about them. She is not afraid to push and challenge anyone she works with. She is always uplifting and encouraging. Sometimes for certain students, this caring attitude and relationship they develop with Sharon is more important than the math concepts they learn. He says, so she is helping students to better themselves in more ways than their math skills. He says he doesn't think we can put a price tag on that. He also says that you have some really good conversations, you and adult conversations. And he says when he works with kids all day, and you'll come in, the bell will ring, you guys are able to converse a little bit. He says, "I've loved my dialogue with her." So, anyway.
I just kind of say it out there like I think it should be, even if it's not politically appropriate in the school.
Well, he enjoys it. Miss Jackson, the department head, says, "We could never pay her enough for what she does for our students, and she doesn't realize it. We all truly love her, as do the kids. She loves our students with all her heart, and they respond to her by doing their best not to disappoint her." She says, "I have a student that went from attending once every 10 days to coming 3 times a week. This is because she cares, and the student knows it." I can't think of anyone else more deserving of this award. And then there's some data we want to share that you started in 2014, and since you began working with kids who were failing their math classes, you worked with them during math, you worked with them in their options class, during homework, lunchtime, and then also the Grizzly Den time, and there's been a 37% reduction in failing students. And between 2015-16 and this current year, there's been an additional 24% failing students. She says, "While this is a joint effort between many parties, Sharon is critical to Rocky's success. These kids know that she cares. She works intensely with students who would otherwise fall through the cracks." That's a great honor.
I'd love to take half of them home, but I don't have room.
Superintendent, Board, Sharon McKinnis, Extra Mile Award. Thank you, Sharon. And, I want you to take a minute and introduce who's with you tonight.
Okay, I can do that. Well, most of my family, my husband's sick on the couch at home. Most of my kids have jobs. My daughter, she's my oldest and my only girl. She came with me tonight. Thanks, Rachel. But the other family I have here is my family from school. Nicole, our mom, who took the chance on hiring me, and then my staff, or not my staff, but the staff I work with, they're not mine, who do tolerate me and keep me in line so that I'm not as big a student as the rest of the kids. And they keep us all at a trim. Anyway, so I do appreciate that all you guys put up with me, and you just, you hired me. Thank you. Thanks.
Bill, thank you for the presentation. We will now turn the time over to Matt Patterson. We're going to have a fun STEM Fair Achievement presentation. We always like the STEM presentations because they're animated.
Superintendent Board, I am so excited to be here like usual. This is one of my favorite nights of the year too, because we get to highlight some amazing students and their incredible efforts that they've taken on this year, and I'm particularly excited about the group that I've got tonight. And so Sherry, go ahead and we're going to jump right in. I'm going to highlight MESA here first. So MESA stands for Math, Engineering, Science Achievement. And this club is great. We actually have about 600 students that participate in MESA after school. And that has actually almost doubled over the last 3 years. And it's because of a couple of great things. I've strategically placed my corner here. I've taken over the real estate in the boardroom. But this club allows students to have some incredible experiences, tutoring support, field trips. They collaborate on projects and many other opportunities in math, science, and engineering. The cool part about it is it supports all students that want to participate in this club. So I'm not going to do any more talking at this point. I'm going to turn the time right over to some amazing three. I got to introduce them. They actually are known by Triple S. If you haven't figured it out, so it's Soraya, Sierra, and Sam, and they're awesome. So I'm going to turn the time over. Come on up, girls. I'm going to turn the mic right over to them. They got this sweet T-shirt, and Sam's going to bust out of here as soon as she's done. She's actually late for a comp soccer game. So Sam, are you who's taking this mic over right up there?
We'd like to thank you guys for having us here and for Mr. Patterson for inviting us. First of all, we're going to talk about our robots, our ROVs for sea perch. In this area, I had a lot of fun experiencing the different controls and how we built this thing because it was basically just a puzzle, a maze. It amazed me. So here, on the frame of the robot, we did this type of frame. Well, First, we're a stock class, so we're just barely beginning, and this helps balance. The noodles help balance the how it goes up in the water, and I like balance it all out. And let's see, the tether and the wires are all connected to this little control that I'll let Sierra talk about here.
So this is our control box, and it's connected to the tether, which helps control the motors in it. And to help that, we plug the alligators into the battery box. And making the control box help us learn more about engineering and stuff, because we have to solder everything and connect wires and put it all together. And yeah, that's the control box.
And we have to make posters, and we learn a lot of things, researching a lot of this stuff about what people do with the underwater robots. And we also do, in the Mesa Day, we learned how to program Spheros, and we program it with our phones, connect it to it, and this is the pathway that we had to go through. And first we got to align it so we can have it straight to where we want it to go. And then we just click the start button and it will go through the track. And it was really fun to do, trying to program it and get it to going through where it's supposed to go.
On the programming system, we really have to think about the speed and the time that we put in the Spheros, because with both of them combined, it defines the distance it's going. So the certain amount of speed, it's how the time it would go. So it keeps a steady beat, a steady balance. So when we program these, sometimes they do go off course because one may affect another programming connection that we have programmed. So as you can see, it might go off grid, but we try our best to try to go through all of them. My best experience with this is learning how to use the programmation and really figuring out the way the sphere goes in directions. And there is a lot of variables in both of these things, both of these areas. The spheres, especially the sea perch, the ROVs, because there was a lot of wiring and cutting and soldering and how to connect and a lot of balances and how the robot would stay up, and the Spheros making sure it would stay where we want it to go. And if it goes off grid, we have to figure out in that certain area where it bounced off.
And Mesa's a lot of fun to do because we get to learn new things, have fun with our teams, and meet new people when we do it every year.
So Mesa's a good experience because we get know what type of jobs we would like in the future for us, and it helps us get ahead of thinking of all of it. And yeah.
My experience with Mesa was really fun. First of all, the way I got interested in Mesa was going to a summer program in Weber State, the WSU prep thing, and just from that, once I heard about Mesa, it was very fascinating because just from there, all these engineering stuff, and my dad is a mechanic, so I just want to go into that area, and these engineering things helped me figure out where the pathway to go in my future way.
Let's give these ladies a hand. Isn't Triple S incredible? I mean, these are amazing young ladies, and I love watching you guys. It was so much fun to watch you guys work through, and just they were so intent on making those fine-tuned adjustments, and then in the pool to watch them have the robot do incredible work. So thank you for being here. I know one of you guys have got to zip off to a soccer game, so good luck. And you guys are awesome. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, Matt.
Here we've got
Thank you, Triple S.
Yeah, we're not done. We got another one to come.
Sorry.
So no, you're great. So we got part 2 coming. But a few more things with Mesa. Sherry, go ahead and click that next one. So they mentioned really quick about Mesa Day. So Mesa Day, we had about 300 students come up. They participated in the Sphero competition and 4 or 5 other events that they wanted to participate with. They competed against each other as schools, and then we gave out some great prizes that afternoon. The students absolutely loved. They worked hard throughout the year to master and become proficient at these great challenges that they were involved with. Sherry, go ahead and move that next one there. In addition, they mentioned the Sea Perch, these underwater robot competition. We actually go to the Marshall White Center first, and they're able to practice. And this is actually the pool there. The kids all line up on the edge, and they get to test and practice and try and retry and adjust and make all those calibrations they talked about making the buoyancy just right and working with the controls. And sometimes it just kind of fuse or short circuits, and they have to rewire it and get the soldering back out, and it's just a great process for them to solve and figure out. And then we actually have a regional competition amongst other school districts. And a quick comment with this process is I had a group of students from our district come up to me afterwards, and they did okay, but they didn't do quite as well as they were hoping. And they came up to me and says, "Mr. Patterson, please tell us that we're doing this next year." I says, "Yeah, we are." And they're like, "Good. We so know what we need to do for next year." And I love that because they're planning, they have a vision for where they need to be, and that it really perpetuates that idea that this isn't done, it's not finalized, and they can really work towards that goal of being proficient at this task. Sherry, go ahead. Yeah, next one here. Also in Mesa, they meet monthly at least, and they just do great activities. It's a safe environment where they can experience help and support and this collaborative effort, and they get to do things that are fun and interesting to them, and then they get to work on projects like Mesa Day and Sea Perch. So let's move to phase 2. I need to introduce you to my next superstar. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you to Christopher Robertson, and Christopher attends T.H. Bell. And he is a brilliant mind, and he loves math and numbers, and he's going to tell us about his amazing project. So Christopher, come on up, and let's hear about your incredible work here. So I'm going to switch over to PowerPoint here so you can take that.
Thank you. So I have quite a bit to go through, so I apologize if I'm going through it all a bit quickly. So what started me with this project is just one day I was in math, and we were working with linear functions, and then we started working with geometric sequences on the same day. And I wanted to see what would happen if I took a geometric sequence and treated it like it was a linear function, as if it had a rate of change. So I took the difference between each step in a sequence, and I turned that into its own sequence, and kept doing that for each sequence. And I realized there were patterns in each of these sequences from the original. I realized that each following set of numbers that came from the differences between each one had the same constant multiple as the original one. I also realized that if you use the same step in each sequence, then it will have a constant multiple of 1 less than the original, because say my original is 3 times 4 to the power of x, and I take one of the steps. Say I take the second step in each of those sequences that follow 3 times 4 to the power of x, and the first one is so the second step of 3 times 4 to the power of x would be 12 and 48, and then I take the difference between that, and that's 36. So and 12 times 3 is 36. So that's why the constant multiple of each step, so if I make a sequence out of one of the steps, the same step in each of those horizontal sequences, it makes a diagonal sequence. And because it's 3 times 4 minus 3 is the same as 3 times 3. Like I said, it always has one less than the original constant multiple. Then I decided to make an equation to make one of these grids that I made up here. And I came up with h sub n of x equals a times b to the power of x times b minus 1 to the power of n. And I can plug in any two numbers, or any four numbers if I want to find a specific number in any of those sequences. So a and b are the y-intercept and constant multiple of the original sequence. And x and n, x is the number of steps across and n is the number of steps down, because n is each individual sequence. So I decided to make a proof out, I wanted to make a proof out of this so I could make sure I was right about this. And basically I took ab to the power of x minus ab to the power of x minus 1, which is taking one step and subtracting it from the last step. And I factored that out, ended up with what you see there. And basically I generalized it with n and subtracted it from itself to see if it would always work, not just for the first step. And it worked. I came up with this sequence that I had before. I represented them in a graph and a new version of the grid that represents it a bit better because it has zeros where they're supposed to be. And a use for this is for things that are accelerating very fast. You can use any original, like, so say I know the jerk of something, but I don't know the acceleration or velocity, but I do know the original position. Then I can use the jerk in the original position to find any velocity, acceleration, jerk, and position for any step infinitely. But that would be using the grid from the bottom to the top instead of the top to the bottom as shown here. Ninth. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Sherry, his generalization that he arrived at, is that new in the field of mathematics? Is that something that we've already?
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. So let's give him one more hand. Thank you so much. Unless you want to keep that with.
Chris introduce.
Oh yeah, we like know who's here. Yeah.
So it's just my parents with me. My siblings weren't able to make it. So that's my dad, Bill Robertson. I tried to talk to him about this stuff, and he kind of zoned out. And then next to him is my stepmom, Lisa, who is a little bit better with math, but...
Thank you. Go back and sit down. Christopher, you also were way past me too, so you're great, but incredible mind. So STEM Fair is this: it gives a chance for students to share their passion and share the things that they love, and that's what I love about the process is that we have students that that find those niches in their life. They answer those questions that they have, and they're able to represent that in a language that oftentimes is sometimes even beyond what we can even perceive. But this is our future. These are our problem solvers. Triple S and Christopher are our future. They're their future problem solvers. And this is my Prezi here I purposely chose as basically a blueprint, because I feel like these opportunities, these programs, are a blueprint to success. They're these plans for success. And thank you for the opportunity to be involved and to support. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to share a little bit about these great students. And I also want to throw out one last shout out is the incredible advisors and teachers and schools that make this happen. I'm only here just to help facilitate, but they're the ones that do the work. And it's incredible to see. Amber's here, and it was a great job with her Mesa students, and Lynn and his team there at TH Bell do a great job with this process. So thank you for your time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Matt. Yes, we would like to recognize Lynn Ward, the principal at TH Bell. Thank you for being here. Okay, we will move on to discussion and action items. We only have one action item this evening, so we will turn the time over to Dr. Robert Peterson.
Thanks, President. Every 4 years, we have the opportunity to review our certain contracts, and one of those is our relationship with the school district insurance consultant. And the insurance committee, which represents employees from all the employee groups, decided to go to bid. It's been 4 years, and they take this job very seriously. And they went to bid, and 6 firms responded. All 6 were interviewed. And at the end of the day-long interview process, we selected GBS to retain our services with GBS. They've been serving us now for, 8 years? Or maybe 10? I don't know. And this is not an inconsequential decision. Insurance is it costed the district and its employees over $25 million. And so it helps to have a consultant guide us along the way. And it's a very important benefit. And so the insurance committee would like to recommend GBS to continue. And for another 4 years, we have Scott Stewart here. He is our main account person for GBS. And he's good to work with. And that's the recommendation for the insurance committee, that we approve that.
Board, do I have a motion to approve GBS services for our insurance consultant? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion, board? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is the end of our agenda. And so we thank everyone for being with us tonight. And we'll see you next time. Thank you. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We've got to have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. Second? Second, Mitzi. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Sorry.